welcome back to This Game Keeps Getting Weirder and Weirder. Excuse me. Would you mind if I had a word with you?
Yes!
I just want to ask you a couple of questions.
What's the matter with you? Can't you see I'm busy? So you don't like my seeds, eh, pigeons? Yeah!
He's really chugging those seeds at them. That's gotta hurt.
Go on, eat this!
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you about Maggie Bird?
I don't know any Maggie Bird.
Yes, you do. Maggie, the waitress at Tribulations.
Gah! It's a disgrace, I tell you. An utter disgrace.
A disgrace?
An innocent young girl revealing herself like that.
Revealing? You mean her uniform?
The youth of today, they don't have any shame. No shame, I tell you. Not 1 ounce. Whatever happened to the old Bushido values of Japan, like honor and modesty?
What about me? I'm not wearing anything revealing.
You? You're probably due like any sense of grace.
Talk about hitting a girl when it hurts.
Wait, so are we in Japan? I thought they said this was America.
I think we're in America, but he's talking about, like...
Oh, what happened to the Bushido, whatever?
Right.
Okay.
Like...
It's like he's a Japanese immigrant, and...
I don't even think he's an immigrant. I think he's just some weeb who's really obsessed with Japanese, like...
You think he's like a really old weeb? Usually weebs are younger, aren't they?
I mean, yeah, but...
Yeah.
Maybe this is a weeb who never grew out of that mindset and thinks that Japan is like the super perfect country and everything, where it, like anywhere else, it has its own set of issues and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Japan has a lot of beautiful areas, but there's still a lot of problems with the culture behind it.
Yeah, I know. Most
anywhere else, honestly.
Yeah.
But...
I think Japan's biggest issue is they don't really understand racism. Because, like...
I don't know if it's necessarily that they don't understand, but they are very, very heavily...
I feel like they're accidentally racist a lot, you know? Like, I don't think they really mean any harm by it. It's just like they don't...
I've been reading some stuff about it on Twitter and Facebook, and in a lot of cases, actually, yeah, they're very intentionally... racist, transphobic, homophobic especially.
Ugh. That's unfortunate.
They're very misogynistic in a lot of ways, because the whole thing is that, if you're a man, you gotta work hard to support your family and blah, blah, blah. What you would consider, like, traditional gender roles and values and whatnot is still very prominent in the mindset of a lot of the Japanese people.
Gotcha. I just,
I say a lot. I don't actually know, like, the statistics and numbers behind it necessarily, but from what I've been reading, it seems... very commonplace, just like a lot of the same issues of, right-wing and Republican types here in America.
Mm.
So, take it for what you will.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I remember watching was it a Mother's Basement video, or was it Bonsai Pop? Heck, it could have been even Red Bard, I don't remember. I watch a lot of anime YouTubers, but I remember someone talking about Japan, maybe it's a different crowd, because then maybe it's like the more the anime type of Japanese people, because they're like traditional Japanese people and then the modern Japanese people, if that makes sense.
I mean, you've got a lot of... What do you mean by traditional modern?
Like in Japan, there are some places that don't have a lot of technology, or mostly like open fields and like
more rural sort of areas and that sort of thing.
Right.
Okay, sure.
And then
here in America too.
Right, yeah. And then there are the people in the bigger cities, and they have like all these advanced technology and whatnot, So I don't know. I just remember that maybe it was even Gaijin Goomba who was talking about this. I legit don't remember, but I just remember watching a video about someone saying talking about Japanese people and how some of them at least. Because of the culture there and because they don't get out much, most Japanese people stay in Japan. I guess we could say that about most countries, but, Japanese took its time kind of going out of their comfort zone, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, while other countries, kind of expanded or at least, went out and saw the world, I guess, quote-unquote. I'm probably not explaining this very well, but Japan for the longest time really kept to itself. You know, it's on an island. It didn't even open up for trade until like late.
I mean, yes and no. So I've been hearing that actually regarding that, there's been a lot of like erasure of Japan's very militaristic and semi-invasion and occupation-heavy past. So, I mean, from my understanding, in a lot of ways, yes, they have mostly kept to themselves. They haven't exactly been very forthcoming about going to speak with most of the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But on the same token, they also, during
World War II, I remember that they did have like a somewhat presence in the war and whatnot.
well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not somewhat. I mean, they had actually a pretty significant role.
Well, disregarding World War II, during like from like the 1500s to the 1800s, from my understanding, and this is a very light understanding, but Japan during most of its feudal ages and whatnot was actually incredibly like aggressive toward a lot of like neighboring coastal areas and whatnot, and would raid, pillage, and etc. Sort of like samurai Vikings in a weird sort of sense.
Alright.
And a lot of the territory they conquered, they occupied, and I'm not really sure how a lot of that has been resolved, because I have just a very, very basic understanding of it. But,
well, anyway, I was just gonna say about the video I watched. I don't remember who it was, but they were like saying that because Japan mostly kept to itself, and you know, well, relatively speaking, you know, speaking generally, you know,
right.
this doesn't represent all of them, obviously, like,
sure.
but like because of that, they have very limited understanding of other people's cultures and whatnot, or even of other races, and so they have like a childlike understanding of it, and like, you know how children can sometimes be cruel unintentionally, you know.
Right, but I mean, yes and no. I mean, in some cases it may be an accidental because they don't know any better, but in a lot of cases, I was reading actually though in some instances on Twitter, like Japanese people, especially like even among like today in the modern culture and whatnot, a lot of them are very intentionally racist, unless like because the idea, I guess, is that either if you're Japanese and you mixed with another like Asian culture, that's bad, but if you mixed with like a white person, that's like acceptable, and you are like if you're a white person visiting in Japan, you are revered like as an idol in a weird sort of sense by large groups of people who are very, in some terms, obsessive about the idea of that.
That's weird.
It's like a weird like Asian white supremacy cult kind of thing. I don't entirely get it. That's probably a really bad way to say it, but that's another brief understanding I have of like tourists over in Japan and whatnot. That's why they're treated so well and so highly, even if they're complete assholes and whatnot, is because they have this
I
weird...
don't know, I think... I actually wanted to... Because I remember Gaijin Guma talking about how he was actually treated poorly in Japan. Because Japanese people, like, only really like other Japanese. You know, like they're very...
And that is also probably definitely true, but I don't know. I'm just telling you what experience I read about necessarily. Right,
because I remember, because Gaijin actually like lived in Japan for a while, and you know, there were like these little stamps that they use for like their names that, you know, they stamp or whatever, and he was talking about a story how he needed to get a new one, and he went to the shopkeeper and was like, hey, I need a new one of these stamps, you know, obviously speaking in Japanese, not English, but you know,
sure.
And the shopkeeper, he was like, I think you're in the wrong place, you know, like, you're not from here, you don't belong here, basically, you know, you don't need one of these because you're not Japanese, you know? And he's like, but I live here currently, and, you know, this is something I need because I need a stamp, because that's just how the culture works, you know? So it's like, but now the guy was just like, nope, you don't belong here, you know?
Well...
Yeah, I don't know.
Again, different experiences regarding similar issues, in that Japan, from my understanding, is very But a lot of Japanese people are very set on the idea of...
And we're generalizing, I want to add.
Yeah. This obviously does not speak for all or, everybody.
We're just two white guys who are talking about things that they've heard.
Right.
Yeah.
So don't take our opinions or...
take it with a huge grain of salt.
Yeah. We're just talking about what we have read upon.
Because
I do have a large interest in wanting to learn more and possibly do like the host family sort of program where I go and I live there, experience the culture, and possibly even become a citizen one day. Because I think Japan has a lot of really neat, cool technological advancements.
Oh, for sure. I wish we would advance as technologically as Japan has.
I think that in some ways I believe that they take better care of their citizens. In other ways, not so much. I don't know. I guess in a weird sort of sense, I have an idealized version of what I believe Japanese culture is, because I don't know all of the sides to everything.
Yeah. We only know.
That being said, I want to go to Japan, but I don't want to be restricted to only the tourist only areas. I want to go over to Japan to experience everything that I can about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I do what I can to try and read up on it whenever I get the chance of, hey, what's going on in Japan? What's, what are the people like? Because this is something I actually am interested in doing.
Are you planning on going with Raymond when he visits Japan soon-ish?
I don't know. I've got a lot of other stuff I'm trying to take care of this year.
That's fair.
I think sometime next year, I think I'm going to try and,
Raymond invited me too, but I was thinking about it, and like I said, I'm not really
Well, when is he?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
But I just want to say that he invited me for when he does eventually, and I thought about it, and I'm like I said, I'm not really much of a traveler, so I'm visiting Japan would be cool and all, but. What would I do? Go look at places?
Well, as a tourist, that's kind of what you do when you're over somewhere else. You go and take a look at what they have to offer of samples of their culture, get to know some of the people.
And personally, maybe this makes me, what's the word you said before? Uncultured, I guess. Maybe this makes me uncultured, but I don't know, it just sounds boring. To just go and look at stuff.
If I was a tourist over in Japan, I think the three biggest things I would like to hit up are the Nintendo main headquarters company thing and whatnot, and take a tour of that facility. Tour of the Akihabara Strip. Because it's a whole huge collection of a bunch of I guess kind of smaller businesses and whatnot all along the city blocks for a couple of miles or something.
That could be cool.
Anyway, I hear it's a really popular spot in Japan for a lot of interesting stuff. So I figure, hey, why not? It sounds like a good tourist spot. Let's see.
Dude, we should probably actually continue with the video. We've been sitting here talking about Japan for God knows how long.
Yeah, and our vague understanding of experiences regarding Japanese culture that may or may not actually end up being true.
Right. And honestly, I just want to say, if any of this came off as insensitive, it's not our intention, and we...
Right, we apologize greatly if we seem insensitive, but we just want to make people aware that Japan, like any other country in the world, has its own sense of issues.
But who are we to talk? We're fucking Americans, and we live in...
Yeah.
Oh, this shit show.
Well, I will say this. Violent crime, I guess, is...
I hear Japan does not have a lot of violent crime, at all.
Right. Well...
What are you doing? What?
Sort of. They have a lot of, sexual harassment and, rape issues over there. Especially towards younger women.
It makes sense, but it's also very unfortunate.
Yeah, and I've heard and read a lot of stories about how, in almost all cases, the women are so conditioned and trained that something regarding that sort of situation is going to happen that they basically just kind of try to deal with it and go, it is what it is. And that they teach girls this from a very young age, that something like this probably will happen.
Oof.
Because it is so prominent. And meanwhile, the men, and that misogynistic sort of manner that I was trying to talk about earlier, they just like, oh, what? Why do you care? This is how it is. This is our culture, blah, 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 you know? And they feel entitled to this.
So basically toxic masculinity.
Yeah, but like to a sadly hugely common extreme.
I mean, to be fair though, maybe we're not, well, I don't know. To be fair, and not that it's excusing it at all, or you know, doesn't make it any better. But honestly, America's not that different.
I mean,
in some extent, you know, to some extent.
America is not better in a lot of ways. Like I said, I keep saying every country has its own sets of issues.
Well, anyway, let's just... It's already been half the video.
Anyway, so...
So, Tribune. Do you go to Tribune a lot?
That miserable excuse for a restaurant? That garbage they serve when there's not food. Where's the sushi? The tempura? The rice?
Tribune is a French restaurant, sir?
Who do you think we are, boy? In Paris? I want real food, not those snooty snacks. But what about these shameless girls?
You mean the waitresses?
You can see all the way up to their...
baby.
Yes, the waitresses.
Baby, you're right next to the microphone.
Why don't you put those in the drawer so she doesn't...
Good grief.
Also, anyway, yeah, so this is basically just one of those, like Japanese culture stands who doesn't actually... Like, they're obsessed with, like...
Baby, stop going towards the mic. Stay on my bed, please. No. No. You're okay, jeez.
Why is it every time we get the mic out, she wants to come over here and flop on this table?
I don't know, it's like only when we're recording, too. When we're not recording, she's fine just being anywhere, but specifically when we're recording, she's like, oh, I want to be here now.
Right?
Jeez. You're so silly. Anyway, what were you saying?
Anyway, but yeah, it sounds like this guy's just an old, Japanese weeb who's obsessed with the idea of, you know, quote-unquote, traditional Japanese values, despite not knowing, any of the actual, culture or history behind Japan and how they got to where they are today.
Maybe.
What was it? Is Gaijin, I think right? Is that...
Gaijin Goomba?
No, Gaijin. Isn't that the term that they use for, this sort of person?
I think this guy's legit Japanese.
Well, I mean... Maybe.
I'm gonna look up the term Gaijin real quick, though.
I think it means outsider, if I remember correctly, or foreigner.
Gaijin is Japanese for foreigner, yes. It's basically well, never mind. I was gonna say it's basically like Spanish gringo, but that actually literally means white person. So, not exactly the same.
Right.
Because foreigner can be any race.
God, there's a whole subset of people, especially here in America, who are obsessed with the idea of being Japanese and kawaii and everything and all the good lights and everything, but they don't understand that a lot of what they're doing is incredibly
I think those people are literally called weeaboos, right?
Is that what that is? I thought weebs were just people who enjoyed anime and are kind of
I think there's a difference between
nerds.
I think there's a difference between weeb and weeaboo, if that makes sense. I could be wrong.
Maybe anyway. Well, let's say that's what weeaboos are then, because that actually I think you might be correct. But anyway, yeah, this guy sounds like a weeaboo. I don't think he's actually a Japanese person.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, maybe he is, and I'm just wrong. But the way he's been acting, it seems very weeb-ish, you know.
I guess. Usually weebs are more like the anime obsessed, though. Or weeaboo, sorry. Or usually like they're obsessed with Japan because they're obsessed with anime, you know?
I guess. I thought... whatever the case. He sounds like one of those kind of people.
Alright.
He's, standing and, all for a bunch of, Japanese things, but not actually necessarily Japan or the people.
I don't know. I guess.
Anyway, just...
yeah, okay. Moving on.
They're practically naked. It's a disgrace, isn't it? Well, isn't it?
Listen, it's not my restaurant.
Gah! It's a miserable excuse for a restaurant that place. Miserable.
He certainly knows the place. He must be regular. I don't know why I enunciated that weirdly, but whatever. But if he hates it so much, why does he keep going?
Are you a regular at that restaurant, sir? It's just, if you dislike it so much, why would you keep going there?
Sir?
There you are, you filthy pigeons. You want food? Ha! Take that!
He probably secretly likes the quote-unquote disgraceful appearance of the waitresses.
Probably.
Yeah. He acts like he doesn't like it, but he's probably like a secret perv.
Wow, the old man perv. That's
Yeah.
such a trope.
Right.
He must be hiding something, right?
If he is, I should be able to see a cyclock or two. Oh wait, I don't exactly have the magnetoma right now, huh?
Remember, Nick, the Makatama is only on loan. You're bound to find it, or else.
If Pearls ever gets a wind of this, I'm gonna be in a world of pain.
She comes running, like she fucking jumps out from the slide thing and fucking was
Slap attack.
right.
Excuse me, sir. Could I ask you about this? Sir?
Here you go, boy. How does a pigeon feed sound to you?
This wasn't exactly what I was hoping to get out of this guy. Okay, blah blah blah.
Pigeon feed.
Nope.
Pigeon feed.
Okay, how about people? Nope. 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 I'm just giving it a try.
No?
Maybe I need to do something and he'll open up more or something. It's probably one of those cases where I need to present like a specific thing or something, then he'll
That
be...
we just don't have right now, I
Yeah.
guess. Alright.
Kind of how like Larry in the previous case, he wouldn't talk to us unless we did something.
Right.
Nothing here, I guess.
Jeez.
Oh, okay,
No.
well, do I have anything new to talk to you about? Oh, wait. Maybe I show you it. Oh, so you met the owner, Mr. Armstrong. He's, oh, how do I put this? Pretty unique, huh? He has a really intense aura, as a chief and as a person.
Chef.
Chef. I knew that. My bad. Yeah, he's a pretty intense aroma, too.
So did Mr. Armstrong really not see the killer?
Apparently not. Well, he's in the kitchen all the time, so I guess it's possible that he didn't.
Okay, well that didn't really give me...
Oh, we didn't get the old guy, like... We didn't get his profile to show to her.
Also...
You're like, hey, you know this person?
I guess I have to look for the Magmatama, maybe? Because he said it was close by or something.
Yeah, when we were right here, because we could still see the Cyclops.
So maybe it's around here somewhere.
Is it on the floor somewhere, maybe?
Hmm.
Maybe not. Maybe we find it later. But I don't know what to, like...
I don't know what to do right now.
I don't either.
Do I... Is it... Because Vitamin Spur is apparently, like, right next to the restaurant, so... Well, then again, it didn't have a Cyclock thing for him. So... Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe... Oops. Maybe it's in my office? Did I leave it at home by accident?
Charlie, did you steal my Watagama?
I legit don't know what to do right now.
I don't either. So... What even can we still do at this point? Like, we've presented everything we can to everyone, right?
I think so, yeah.
Also, I find it kind of silly that they went and gave the Blue Badger a girlfriend.
Yeah. Ugh. Why are they forcing romance down all of our throats all the time, everywhere? As an aromantic, I find this extremely offensive. I don't actually care that much. I will say it is pretty annoying.
I do want to say, why did they make it a pink badger? Should it just be 2 blue badgers?
It's because pink is always the girl, whatever. Like Amy the Hedgehog is pink, and whenever they need to make a girl, they either make her pink or give her them a bow. Like Minnie Mouse is
And
basically like Minnie Mouse is basically just Mickey Mouse but with a bow.
Yeah.
And
Daisy is just Donald Duck with pink and a bow.
yeah.
Goofy, I guess, had a girlfriend and or wife at one point. But
Yeah, but I don't think we ever see her.
I don't think we ever have. No. The closest I think he's got is what, Clarabelle, the cow lady.
Yeah.
At this point.
I don't know what to do right now. I've been everywhere and I've talked to everyone.
Can we present him anything?
I already presented everything to him.
Oh.
The Magmatama is apparently supposed to be close by, so that would lead me to believe.
Well, then I guess start just clicking everything we had before. Maybe we'll turn up.
Shouldn't it not have a thing on it though?
Well, we had it all the way up until, well, we found the magazine, and we're like checking that again, right?
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll just click on everything, I guess.
Can we examine the stuff we have in our, like, inventory? Like, look at it?
I
guess not. Wait, did we present the job listings thing to Maggie?
No.
I
I
know
guess.
that seems silly, but...
I mean, I guess we didn't present it to the Armstrong either, so...
Mademoiselle! Yes? Are you looking for that job? What? No, I was just... Let me see. Your style is un peu different, but you have a good face. Different? Felicitations! You are passed! I will hire you. Bien, come with me. I will teach you everything I know. Nick, help!
I don't know whether to laugh or feel bad for Maya. Maybe I should do both?
On the one hand, yay, she has her own job now, but on the other, like, she seems kind of really forced into the position.
Yeah, also, now I can... Now these things have...
Oh, so it's what?
I guess I just had to get rid of them both before I could look around more thoroughly.
Oh yeah, because you're like snooping around or something, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. It's a rack full of flash magazines, they're all in French. Ugh, all the clothes on these are absolutely atrocious. Some of them have been circled in red. I really hope Mr. Armstrong is not thinking of buying these.
I mean, I find that there's a lot of really, like, weird, modern, like, styles of clothing and whatnot. Like, what you see on the runways and whatnot, there's a lot of really, really, really strange ideas
Honestly,
out there.
I don't even think those are meant to be for us commoners. I think they're literally just so rich people can be unique or whatever.
The thing is, I've never, like, heard of or seen anybody actually purchasing these things and wearing them. Like, there was the one time I actually remember anything regarding, like, seeing a runway, like, thing. Victoria's Secret, I think it was, had just unveiled some sort of, like, peacock dress kind of thing. It was like blue, and it was, like, weirdly, like feathered around, like, all of the collars and, like, the sleeves and whatnot. And it was like what's that? You know those like pink scarves I used to see like some celebrities wear that are like really,
the
really
one
fluffy.
that
is it shag? Is it?
I don't know what it's called, but for our Danganronpa fan game, I'm planning on having Brittany wear one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You know the like classic like diva thing. It was like that sort of like fluff around all of the like collars and end pieces, and it was really strange. And it was like this real like teal. I don't know if it was like glitter or sequins or what, but it like was like weirdly like gaudily like Gaudili. Like gaudily like
I know
just
you.
tacky.
Yeah.
And I think it was also like open back, but also still with the continuing of the weird like
Jeez.
that style.
Do you remember that?
It's just like why?
Do you remember that
Who would
fucking
wear
dress?
this? Is this a thing I can actually go and purchase? And if so, Where? But also, why?
Do you remember that dress?
That doesn't look comfortable in the slightest.
Remember that dress that kind of became a meme, though? That it started off like a big balloon or something. Like it had air, but then it would like deflate and then turn into like a dress.
No.
Oh man, it was all over the internet when it was first revealed. Okay, so first they. It literally around their like whole chest area was like a big balloon. It was filled with air, but it was like their dress, and like also their legs were bare or whatever. But then like I don't know if they like press a button or something, but somehow they get it to deflate, and it's slowly going around them, and then like it starts to like lower as it deflates, and then it like once it's fully deflated, it turns into a dress and covers their legs.
Okay, but why?
I could probably. We're at the end of the episode anyway. I'm going to show you in between.
Alright, I guess we'll see you here in a little bit.
See you guys next time. I'm sorry this episode was just a bunch of rambling.
Yeah, but anyway, we hope you at least enjoy it and you know take our insight with
a grain of salt.
A grain of salt, but I mean.
Don't even call it insight. We're just two people talking shit, basically.
Not shit, but just talking about what we're
talking out our ass, basically. I mean, we we're basically just like, oh, we read this or we heard this, but
we are not from Japan, so take our understanding of Japanese culture and people with a grain of salt.
We are not experts either. We're just two people
who are like, hey, I read this thing by this person. You know, how do you feel about that, basically?
Yeah, basically. So anyway, see you guys next time.
Yeah.